Welcome to the spiral. So, you've got a crush, and now your brain has decided that this person is the sun, the moon, the stars, and probably the one true soulmate who understands the real you. You can't focus. You can't sleep. Your Spotify algorithm is now aggressively romantic. Every meme reminds you of them. Every outfit is chosen just in case you run into them at the grocery store. Even the produce aisle feels emotionally charged. Congratulations, you're spiraling. Let's talk about the psychology of not letting your crush consume your entire personality. Because spoiler, you're still a whole human without them. Blame it on your brain. Let's start with the real culprit here. Your brain. When you're infatuated, your brain doesn't just quietly fall for someone, it lights up like a Vegas slot machine on jackpot mode. Dopamine? Firing like fireworks. Oxytocin? Flowing faster than your screen time when you're stalking their profile. Serotonin? Oh, it's taken the day off while your imagination runs wild writing emotional fan fiction about a relationship that doesn't even exist yet. Neuroscientists have found that romantic infatuation activates the same brain regions as a cocaine high. So yeah, crushing on someone is your brain doing lines of pure fantasy. Every smile from them, a dopamine hit. Every hey smiley face text, a full body euphoria blast. Every accidental Instagram story view, irrefutable proof they're in love with you. You're not just falling, you're chemically spiraling. This isn't love, it's full-on neurological chaos. Your brain is throwing a rave, and whether you like it or not, you're the human glow stick, the identity hijack. Here's where things get tricky. Infatuation doesn't just feel good, it quietly takes over. It doesn't march in with big red flags. It tiptoes in, subtly rewiring your focus until everything starts to revolve around them. Your interests, goals, even the quirks that once made you you, begin to shift and mold to fit their preferences. Do they like hiking? Suddenly you're researching trail routes and buying boots you'll wear once. They're into photography? You're deep into YouTube tutorials on aperture settings. They casually mention their favorite band? You binge their entire discography like it's a final exam. This phenomenon is called identity fusion, a psychological merging where your sense of self becomes entangled with someone else's. And sure, a bit of this is normal in the early stages of connection. But when it goes too far, you risk losing yourself. Because you weren't made to be someone else's echo. You're not a mirror. You're a person, whole, complex, and worth holding on to. The fantasy filter, let's be honest. Half the time, you're not even crushing on the actual person, you're falling for a carefully curated mental version of them. This is what psychologists refer to as the fantasy filter. It's the brain's sneaky way of filling in the unknowns with everything you want them to be, rather than who they are. Do they like dogs? You instantly imagine them rescuing puppies on weekends. They laughed at your joke once? You're soulmates with the same sense of humor and a shared destiny. Every little detail becomes the seed of a full-blown rom-com in your mind, and before you know it, you've cast them as the lead in a story they haven't even auditioned for. But here's the thing, they're human. They have flaws, messy habits, off days, and probably a weird guilty pleasure playlist. Idealization may feel romantic, but it blurs reality. It's dreamy, yes, but let's be real, it's also deeply, hilariously delusional. Social media is not helping. If you're checking their story views like it's a stock ticker, refreshing every few minutes to see if they watched yours, and most importantly, stalking their reposts, congratulations, you've officially been sucked into the algorithm of obsession. Social media doesn't just fuel your crush, it turbocharges it. Now you can track their likes, analyze who they follow, study who follows them back, monitor what they ate, where they went, and how insanely good they looked while doing it. Every swipe gives you more content to overanalyze. It creates this dangerous illusion of intimacy, like you're part of their life, when really it's just you, your phone, and a wildly active imagination. Like someone else's post? Not a betrayal. It's just a like. That cryptic Instagram caption? Probably not a secret jab at your soul. But you'll still spiral, decoding it like a heartbroken detective. You're not Sherlock Holmes. You're just overstimulated, and maybe a little too online. Now, why does it feel so urgent? You know that anxious, heart-thumping feeling like you have to make them like you? Like if they don't return your feelings, the world might end? That's not just drama, it's biology. Your brain is wired to equate love and connection with survival. Way back in our cave-dwelling days, being part of a group meant safety. Being liked meant you belonged. And belonging meant you weren't left behind to get eaten by metaphorical or very real wolves. Fast forward to now, and rejection doesn't just sting, it feels like an existential threat. Add in a little social conditioning, some unresolved self-worth issues, and suddenly their attention feels like the only thing holding your self-esteem together. You start measuring your value by how often they text back or like your posts. But here's the truth, it's not your fault. This is centuries of evolutionary wiring at play. Still, awareness is the first step, and yes, you can break the cycle. The power of pausing. Before you spiral deeper into the crush vortex, hit pause. Just take a breath and ask yourself a few real questions. What do I know about this person? Do I truly like them? Or am I just addicted to how they make me feel? Validated, wanted, and alive? Have I seen their flaws? Their fears? Do I know how they handle conflict, boredom, disappointment? Or have I just built a highlight reel in my head, starring them as the emotionally available perfect version I wish they were? Because a real connection isn't built on fantasy. It's built on understanding, honesty, and seeing the unfiltered version of someone and still choosing to engage. And here's the kicker. Are they even into me? Or am I decoding every emoji, every lol, every passing glance like I'm translating ancient romantic scripture? Obsession thrives in illusion, but self-awareness, that's the antidote. That's the moment you take your power back. Reclaim your identity. Newsflash. You had a whole personality before your crush showed up and turned your brain into a romantic sitcom. Remember that version of you? The one with hobbies that weren't suddenly inspired by their Instagram feed? The quirks you didn't tone down? The dreams that had nothing to do with their playlist or favorite movie genre? Yeah, that's you. It's time to reinvest in that person. Because here's the real deal. Attraction isn't about shape-shifting into someone else's ideal. It's about standing so confidently in your own vibe that they're drawn to you, not a diluted version of themselves. And if they're not, that's not your loss. You're still magnetic, still complete, still someone worth knowing deeply. You don't need to contort yourself to fit into someone else's preferences. You're not too much, you're just not meant to shrink. In fact, being too much for the wrong person means you're probably just enough for the right one. Romanticize yourself, not just them. Instead of daydreaming about how cute their last name would look next to yours or what your imaginary couple aesthetic would be, try shifting the spotlight. Imagine how incredible your life could be with or without them. Romanticize your story. Fall in love with your solo coffee runs where the barista knows your order. Celebrate your post-work dance parties in the kitchen, socks sliding across the floor. Obsess over your weird little goals that light you up for no reason other than the fact that they're yours. The energy you spend analyzing their texts, stalking their stories, and decoding every interaction, rechannel that into your next glow-up, emotionally, physically, spiritually. This isn't selfish. This is how you survive, thrive, and shine. Be the main character on purpose, not just while waiting for a romantic subplot to kick in, because your life is already the story, and you deserve to be obsessed with yourself in it. Let go with grace if you need to. Sometimes the healthiest, bravest, and most powerful thing you can do is simply let go. Not with fireworks or dramatic exits, not with angry texts or late-night tears spilled into your pillow, just with a quiet, grounded realization, they are not your emotional home. Maybe they never saw you the way you saw them. Maybe they did, but didn't have the emotional capacity to meet you where you stood. Or maybe, just maybe, they were only meant to be a chapter, not the whole book. And that's okay. Their absence doesn't mean you're unlovable. It means you're free. Free to redirect all the energy you gave away back into yourself. Free to discover who you are when you're not constantly shape-shifting to earn affection. Free to take up space as you are without apology. Because the real plot twist isn't them staying. It's you realizing that you were always enough, even when they didn't choose you. Like, subscribe and reclaim your sanity. If you saw yourself in this video, hit that like button like it's your reset button. Subscribe for more painfully accurate psychology deep dives and emotional CPR. And comment below, what's the wildest thing a crush made you do? No shame. We're all a little unhinged here.